Is what everyone was saying after week 3 when Dallas was undefeated and discussed as Super Bowl contenders. Fast forward to 2 weeks and 2 losses, and the boys are fielding questions about Jason Garrett in a potential hot seat. Here's Cowboys exec Stephen Jones on his head coach.
Absolutely not. He's done a great job with this team. As you saw yesterday, he had this team playing hard when a lot of teams, that game could have gotten real ugly when it was 31-3 there in the back end of the third quarter. And he's got them playing hard, and we've just got to correct a few things, and and we'll be back in line. I totally believe that. I know Jerry believes it.
Hey, Marcus
What's
Spears. How we doing?
I'm doing well. I got beef, though.
Beef?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's beef?
I'm sick of Stephen A. making a mockery of my Cowboys when something bad happens to us.
Okay.
I'm sick of it. So
personal at this point?
I sat here and I texted him, and he didn't respond.
Oh.
I did.
No,
I most certainly did.
Okay. My bad. I might have been too mad at that time to
All right.
to see
I
straight.
responded, bro. I don't diss you like that.
But bro, it's got to stop. It's got to come to a halt, bro.
Why?
Like
Why?
I
Why?
am beyond the level of
Why?
pissed off about you trying to make a mockery of the team I love,
First
bro.
of all, let's be clear about a couple of things. Number one, I'm not a running back. I ain't quarterback either. I ain't got to worry about you smashing me. All right, that's number one. Okay. Number two, this is first take, baby. This is first take. I'm tired of you and Damian thinking that you can intimidate a brother. You can't. If your Cowboys want to silence me and Cowboy lovers everywhere want to silence me, how about this, Marcus Spears? How about winning the game? How about your coach looking like he could coach instead of getting all emotional for a change? How about your quarterback sitting up there and showing that he wants to earn his money? How about your offensive coordinator looking like an all-star the first 3 games when you're playing against nobodies, but then goes against 2 respectable teams and suddenly y'all can't throw the football? How about that, Marcus Smith?
See, this
Maybe
is who
you should
you are.
focus your
This
attention
is
and
who
energy
you are, and
at
it
that
sickens me.
instead of me.
It makes me so mad because this is who you are, all right? I sat here last Tuesday, and you had the Cowboys 5th. All right, you couldn't wait for this to happen.
They off that list. Now they
the
off.
issue. I was with
Get 'em outta
Cowboy
there.
fans. I was with Cowboy fans Sunday. All right, I went to this. This. It was supposed to be a celebration. It ended up not being a celebration. But when I was there, the number one question was: is Stephen A. really a closet Cowboy fan? That was the number one question.
Please. They know better than that. They know better.
I said to him, he sees himself. We already had that talk. I'm going to get beyond that. But I'm so sick of you waiting on them to fall. You know what the worst kind of person in the world is? The worst kind of person in the world is the one that's just sitting on the edge, not in the arena, just sitting on the edge waiting on somebody to mess up. That's who you are with my Cowboys. I'm sick of it.
Marcus, I haven't chimed in yet. Stephen A. You hurt my spirit with that soliloquy right there. But Marcus Spears, before I get to you, Max, last point. I told Darren Woodson, our brother, who used to work here at ESPN, we wish him nothing but the best. Miss you, love you, bro. My man Darren Woodson, you too. I told the people at Texas Live, I'm coming to a game this year to watch the game with y'all. I'm going to be there. I'm going to show, and I'm going to do it right in front of your face. Right, me? I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be with y'all, and I'm gonna roll over all those Cowboy fans, and I'm gonna be laughing right at Texas Live while y'all get smoked. It's gonna be at the appropriate time, though. It ain't gonna be when it don't mean anything. It's gonna be when it really hurts.
Max came to Dallas. We had a great dinner.
Yeah, we did.
We went around the Star, showed him some of the facility.
Really?
And we did all. We did. Max was
Max
there
a
for a boxing
sellout.
match.
Max a sellout. Max a sellout. You acted like you were a fan, then didn't you, Max? You acted like you were a fan.
He respectably came into the Cowboys arena, was quiet, went about his business. But you always want to be loud and tell everybody I'm in Dallas, and everybody mad at me. And Steve,
flying under the radar.
I'm sick of it.
No, you don't. You never fly under the radar. That's a lie.
I'm low-key working on Cowboy fans
Max
not to
don't tell
let you
the truth.
bother
I do
them.
fly under the radar from time to time.
Oh,
Marcus, to be fair,
he tries. He wears a hood and tries to hide in the elevator.
When you say that Stephen A. is what did you say about he's doing your Cowboys?
He always sitting on the sideline waiting for him to mess up.
I mean, like, to be fair, They haven't beaten any good teams yet.
Are you getting sensitive because they're losing, Marcus?
They got to beat,
Marcus,
they're
are you
loaded.
getting scared, and that's what this is about? You're a little sensitive now because they look bad.
This is the NFL. We just saw the Kansas City Chiefs score 13 points, right? That's Max Michael Jordan of the NFL.
You're kind of nervous about Dak, I think. Is it Dak or Garrett that you're nervous about?
I'm nervous about Dak. All right?
Okay.
And we're going to get into it. I'm gonna let them talk about who has the most pressure first, because I'm sure y'all weren't coming to me first with that question.
That's right.
I'm happy to start.
Let's go.
The answer is.
Go ahead, Max.
The answer is Jason Garrett, and I'll tell you why. Whether or not you're convinced about Dak, the fact of the matter is it may be that Dak is a franchise quarterback, right? It's still as I always say, maybe he hasn't been big on third down. I've seen some numbers, but to me, he strikes me as the kind of guy who's going to game manage and give you what you need when you need it, right? He's a pressure quarterback. That's why he's won a lot, by the way. Maybe he can't elevate a bad team to be great, but if you put a great team around him, I think he can win a Super Bowl, right? And I believe that Jerry Jones, who has an interest in that sort of thing, believes that too. And since that's the case, they have isolated all the variables. They gave him a line, they gave him a defense, they gave him receivers, they gave him a running back, they gave him every single thing. When it comes down to it, you have a choice to make between the coach and the quarterback. When the coach doesn't have some great record and the quarterback is still young, 9 times out of 10, they're choosing the quarterback. So I say the pressure's on the coach, Stephen A.
I completely concur with Max Kellerman. I give the floor to Cowboys love himself, Mr. Marcus Peters.
The pressure on Dak. Let's be honest, right? Let's talk about this for a second. I'm going beyond the context of who you point to if they don't have success. Jason Garrett has had premise to not be the head coach for the Cowboys for a few years now, if everybody agree with that. Because this conversation is not newly revolving around Jason Garrett and his performance with the Dallas Cowboys, which I don't think is as bad as people try to make it. Now, here's the dilemma with Garrett. Is he the coach to get you over the hump? Remember, they were in the NFC Championship game a few years ago. And if they would have...
Few years is a liberal definition. How many years?
A few years ago. Dallas wasn't in no NFC Championship game. That was a divisional playoff game.
My bad.
Thank you. It wasn't no conference championship game.
I'm thinking they should have been. I'm thinking they should have been in it because the referees hit us with a low blow. All right.
And they should have went for it.
I'm going to get past that.
Sunday.
What have we been talking
about?
You going to blame
the officiating?
What have we been talking about this whole offseason with the Dallas Cowboys?
If Dak can
get paid and Jason Garrett isn't a good coach and they're never going to win with him?
So here's the deal. The only new narrative in this whole discussion has been, what is Dak Prescott worth and is he a franchise quarterback? I came on this exact show after the first couple games that said pay Dak everything you owe him, per se. But I also referenced that by saying you don't pay Dak $38 million. You cannot make him the highest paid quarterback and him to thrive in a system where he's not surrounded with other great players. And once you put the pressure on that salary cap, you can't surround him. That's every quarterback in the league. That's every quarterback in the league, minus maybe 2 guys that can, like you said, raise the level of a team even if they're not there, but they're just that good that they can raise the level of play. My issue with the pressure on Dak is now we're going to go on this roller coaster ride based on these weeks of value and what's his worth. Remember the first 3 weeks? Everybody paid Dak. Dak is elite. He in the system with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is a boy wonder. They were rolling. Now we got 2 games where you scored 10 points and they scored 24 against Green Bay, but very obscure. Don't let the 24 points fool you and think that this was just them balling consistent. He threw 3 picks. The pressure is on Dak because it's on his shoulders.
But you know what the
we
problem
already
is,
know
Marcus,
who the coach
what
is.
You're saying? Here's the problem with the Dallas Cowboys. I wouldn't give Dak make him the highest paid either. I wouldn't have originally. At this point, they're going to. And the way they signaled they're going to is they said the same thing about Ezekiel Elliott. Even though Ezekiel Elliott is a better back than Dak is a quarterback, nevertheless, they said, we're not going to set the market. He wasn't even a free agent. He couldn't even sit out and reach free agency. And they made him the highest paid anyway. Biggest guarantee, highest average annual.
Here's the problem.
They're going to do the same thing with Dak.
Here's the problem, Matt.
Hold on, go ahead, Marcus Spears.
Yep.
The reason I feel the need to interject is to knock down your point. And your point about the only new narrative is Dak Prescott. That's not the only new narrative. If you recall, Jason Garrett was due an extension as well. Jerry refused to give it to him. A matter of fact, we discussed it on this show, praising Jerry Jones because usually, customarily in the past, he would pay that coach. Whoever his resident puppet was perceived as being, he would take care of that guy. This go round, he said, I got all the pieces around you. I owe it to my team to put you under the same pressure I put them on. Perform or else. And that's what he did with Jason Garrett, which is why Dak is not the only narrative. Jason Garrett is a narrative too. He's under the most pressure.
Stephen A., Jason Garrett, the narrative, because we sit here and we talk about coaching. But my point is, we've been talking about Jason Garrett for years. This is not new. We've been talking about Jason Garrett and his performance for a number of years. The pressure is on Dak for this simple reason. What team doesn't get the franchise quarterback signed and under contract? What quarterback?
Green Bay waited.
If you can name me one that we've had to wait to get paid in a tenure that we're in right now.
Aaron Rodgers didn't have to wait?
Stephen A., Aaron Rodgers didn't start playing. Dak been doing this for since he came into the league. His circumstances evolved into him being the starter for the Cowboys. He did a tremendous job up until this point. I think he's still doing a tremendous job. Look, I'm not impressed upon bad games. Guys have bad games. There are issues with the Cowboys offense and issues with the way that they're playing right now. But with that being, and I also feel like Dak should be paid. I think people get it very obscure when I say
that too.
He shouldn't be. Dak should be paid a handsome amount of money for the work that he's put in. My issue has always been, and the pressure comes from the fact that we don't wait to pay franchise quarterbacks. It's an anomaly. We have the possibility of Dak Prescott hitting free agency. Can y'all tell me the last time a franchise quarterback hit free agency?
Can I tell you what I think's going on, guys? Because I'm very suspicious when I hear no leaks about, when I read no leaks, I don't hear anything about what the guarantee is. So you hear leaks about we were going to make him the highest three, want a top three average annual salary means nothing. What is the guarantee? And my suspicion is, because we saw this actually with Kaepernick originally when they gave him his new deal. You looked at the guaranteed money and you said, but that guarantee doesn't reset the market or even come close. It doesn't even put him among the very top. So my suspicion is that's what the Cowboys are trying to do. At this point, there's no incentive for them to do it now because it's not like if he reaches free agency, he's going to reset the market by any more than he's going to reset the market now if he resets the market.
But Max,
so they're trying to be slick with the guarantee is my guess.
This is not being slick with the guarantee means you're not sold. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get.
Well, they want to save some
money. I'm trying to get everybody to understand. You don't have long, drawn-out negotiations with your franchise quarterback if it's not about particulars and getting it done, period. Jared Goff just got $100 million. Yeah. We just saw Carson Wentz get paid off a torn ACL.
Would you have given Goff $100 million?
You have to.
Would you have given it to
Yes.
him? I wouldn't have.
You would have to.
I wouldn't have.
Right? Unless you say.
Marcus,
what?
You know what? Your passion really matches the show. And I really like it. I'm serious, but we got to make a little commercial break here. But I'm serious.
I'm just saying, Molly.
That's why I would give that $100 million.
Molly, you can end the segment like that all you want to. I'm gonna end it this way. I appreciate the passion too, but don't act like you scaring anybody. You and Damian Woody always acting like y'all scaring somebody. You ain't scaring nobody on first
I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it. You came on this show with a cowboy hat on trying to make a mockery of my guys. I don't like it.
I don't care. They deserve it.
Stephen A. forgets he's a basketball player. He's got a basketball build.
Before this season is over, Marcus, I'm going to put on a cowboy hat and I'm going to roll in the first take on a horse.
Damn you, Stephen.
I'm going to do it.
Damn you.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
I will pay to see that.
They need to listen. In all seriousness,
I will fly somewhere.
In all seriousness, they need to pay that man.
Yeah.
Because as long as this narrative continues, as long as this narrative continues and he's not paid, it's going to continue to say, you know what, the Cowboys ain't sold on that.
Yeah, you might need to upgrade the coaching too.
Well, yeah, that's a part of it, maybe.
You're all used to Stephen A. giving his top 5 NFL teams each week, but this week we got a big surprise for you with Stephen's A-list. Why? Because that's what we do. That's coming up next on First Take. Marcus, please stay.
Absolutely.
Get excited, football fans.